Welcome to Remarkable Old Photos. Women in long skirts played tennis in the 1880s. When the sport was newly popularized among women, they wore corsets and hats while playing on grass courts. The Old Detroit Library, opened in 1877 and demolished in 1931, once stood as the city's first public library. It hosted Michigan's first library science program. The U.S. Capitol's Statuary Hall in the 1900s displayed statues from states, each honoring notable figures, and once served as the House chamber before 1857. Decorated street in Tokyo during the 1954 Tanabata Festival featured vibrant paper ornaments and streamers celebrating the star-crossed lovers' annual reunion. The festival's origins trace back over 1,300 years to a blend of Japanese and Chinese celestial traditions. 1946, Washington, D.C., Shoals Georgian Cafeteria at 14th Street, NW, served affordable meals to thousands daily. It once fed over 10,000 people a day during World War II. An early look at Portland, Oregon's bustling business district around 1852, when the city was still a frontier town with wooden sidewalks and gaslit streets. Anders Zorn sculpted a statue of Gustav Eriksson Vasa in 1902. The monument later stood in front of Uppsala Castle in Sweden. The Holiday Shop Record and Camera Store in Roland Park, Kansas, operated in the mid-20th century during the rise of suburban shopping centers. It was one of the first retail chains to combine music and photography services under one roof. In 1906, visitors browsed shelves at Livraria Lello, one of Portugal's oldest bookstores, which later inspired J.K. Rowling's Hogwarts library design. Workers rushed to catch a ride to their 7 a.m. jobs in 1943 Baltimore, Maryland, during World War II's industrial boom. Many were women filling critical factory roles left vacant by men serving in the war. New York City in 1926 buzzed with jazz, skyscrapers, and the Harlem Renaissance, a cultural hub for Black American artists and intellectuals. The Chrysler Building was under construction and would become the world's tallest upon completion in 1930. A cooperative gas station operated in Greenbelt, Maryland, in 1938, part of a New Deal-era planned community designed to promote collective economic efforts during the Great Depression. This town was one of the first in the U.S. built as a cooperative society, with residents sharing resources and decision-making. The Endurance trapped in Antarctic ice in 1915, eventually crushed and sinking, yet all crew survived after an epic 18-month ordeal. Grace Church in New York, a National Historic Landmark since 1976, is celebrated for its Gothic Revival architecture and was one of the first buildings in the U.S. to use structural iron columns hidden within stone walls. A doctor visits a patient at the Brooklyn Navy Yard Hospital in 1900. The facility treated sailors from the nearby shipyard, which once built the USS Arizona. Mother Teresa at 18 in 1928, before she dedicated her life to serving the poor in India, she was born Agnes Gonsha Bojaxio in Skopje. On July 15, 1960, John F. Kennedy accepted the Democratic presidential nomination before 65,000 at the Los Angeles Coliseum. He became the first Catholic elected U.S. president. Resort guests gather at Gus Troutz's hotel on the St. Clair Flats, Michigan, around 1905. The hotel was built on stilts over the water to combat frequent flooding from the nearby river. Syntagma Square in Athens, Greece, 1890, was a bustling hub of political and social life even then. The first electric streetlights were installed in Athens in 1889, just a year before this photo was taken. The New York National Guard's Hospital Corps trains with a White Motor Company vehicle near Hicksville, Long Island, in 1913. The White Motor Company later became a major supplier of trucks to the U.S. military during World War I. The Beatles relax at London's President Hotel on September 12, 1963, in a photo by famed fashion photographer Norman Parkinson, who rarely shot rock bands. Maureen McCormick played Marcia Brady in the Brady Bunch during the 1970s, and she was actually the only cast member with prior professional singing experience. The National Bank of Jacksonville stood at Forsyth and Laura Streets beside Castle Hall, home to the Knights of Pythias, around 1900. The fraternal order once rivaled the Masons in membership. The Douglas D-558-2 skyrocket at Edwards AFB in 1955, NACA 144 TAS Navy 37974, became the first aircraft to reach Mach 2, achieving this milestone on November 20, 1953, piloted by Scott Crossfield. Swimwear evolved from modest, full-coverage woolen dresses in 1900 to streamlined, form-fitting suits by 1940, reflecting changing social norms and women's increasing freedom in public life. By 1940, synthetic fabrics like nylon began replacing wool, making suits lighter and more form-fitting. Maud of Wales, who became Queen of Norway, signed this 1893 portrait with her childhood nickname Harry. She was the only daughter of King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra. Photographers braved snow and wind at President Taft's inauguration on March 4, 1909. Taft was the first president to own a car, though he rode in a horse-drawn carriage that day. Elizabeth Montgomery starred in the 1961 Twilight Zone episode 2. Playing a lone survivor in a post-apocalyptic world, the episode was filmed in just 2 days on a nearly bare set to emphasize isolation. A fleet of Ford Model T automobiles lines up in front of St. Louis City Hall in the 1900s. The Model T, introduced in 1908, revolutionized transportation by making cars affordable for the average American. A 1950s post office vending machine let customers buy stamps without waiting in line, helping speed up mail service during a time when postal volume was surging due to post-war communication demands. 3 young women eat spaghetti on inflatable mattresses in Capri, 1939, during a rare leisure moment in pre-war Europe. The inflatable mattress was patented just a decade earlier, in 1929. Families enjoyed dinner at a 1952 drive-in restaurant, where car hops served food to customers in their cars. The first drive-in restaurant, Royce Haley's Pig Stand, opened in Dallas in 1921. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy historical photos like this, consider subscribing for more.